pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call.
Ms. Dora. Ms. Loper.
Present.
Mr. Baxter is absent. Mr. Green. Myself present. Mr. Mays is absent. Ms. Jonah.
Present.
5 present, 2 absent.
Need a motion to approve the agenda for the board meeting for July the 28th.
So moved.
Support.
I'm asking that 3 items be left on the table. That's the employee's handbook, the approval of the payable policy, and resolution 2025-10, retirees health care. Legal counsel was on vacation, and all 3 of those items are a little complicated, so I'm asking those to be left on the table.
Support.
Oh, well, we done double did that. We done moved and supported, and then you, then.
Yes.
Are you guys supporting the amendment?
Yes.
Okay.
Support the amendment of the agenda is what I believe that was.
Roll call.
Ms. Loper.
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Ms. Jonah.
Yes.
Ms. Dora.
Yes.
Motion voting that unanimous.
Need a motion to approve the minutes of the board meeting on July the 14th, 2025.
So moved.
Support.
We have a motion by Loper, supported by Allen, to approve the minutes of the board meeting on July 14th, 2025. Is there any additions or deletions? Roll call.
All right, Mr. Green.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Ms. Jonah.
Yes.
Ms. Dora.
Yes.
Ms. Loper.
Yes.
Vote unanimous.
Next item on the agenda is approve payment of the bills from July the 8th through July the 23rd in the amounts of $413,180.63. What's your pleasure?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Keenan, supported by Roper, to approve payment of the bills. Is there any further discussion on the motion? Roll call.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Ms. Jonah.
Yes.
Ms. Dora.
Yes.
Ms. Loper.
Yes.
Vote unanimous.
Next item on the agenda is public comments on agenda items only. Anyone wishing to address the board in regards to public comments on agenda items only?
Good evening, Jolena Sims, 5432 Sarah Rose Drive. I just have a couple of things that's on the agenda. I noticed that you have on there the hiring of assistant to the cashier. I'm sorry, not assistant, but the hiring of a part-time cashier. And board members, I want you to know that I'm understanding that there were some questions of the capability of that individual, but I do know that a few years ago when I hired one of the cashiers, she had no cashier experience, but she was trained by Dorothy Johnson and was trained very well, so I want you to keep that into mind. And the only other thing that I do have, can you all tell me who was on the negotiating team for the GELCs? Who was a part of that team?
Mr. Allen,
Mhm.
myself,
Gary Felt
Gary.
labor.
So, no treasurer and no one else? Okay. So, well, okay, you gave me enough information, thanks.
anyone else wishing to make public comments in regards to agenda items? In regards to agenda items? Close public comments. Unfinished business, treasurer requests to hire Edwina Daniels as part-time cashier. Treasurer?
I would like to hire Ms. Daniels as a part-time cashier. I've had one full-time cashier on a regular basis since the November. The other full-time cashier was working for a few months on a part-time basis. Let's run the office efficiently during tax season. I need a little bit of support. Ms. Daniel is working part-time already as custodial person. I think with the proper training and support from myself and Ginger and current cashier Jean Johnson, I think she'll do well. She just needs an opportunity. And I'd like to keep her pay the same. So it'll be pretty much like a transferring over into the cashiering department. I'd like a motion.
Making that a motion,
Yes.
do I have support?
Support. I'd like to discuss it, please. So she would transfer from being cleaning, maintenance, or not maintenance, but cleaning over to cashier, and she wouldn't do the cleaning anymore. So would it be the same amount of hours?
It would be about 5 or 6 hours a day.
And then have you entertained the idea of it being possibly a temporary until we get the full-time, the other employee that we have that's full-time, until she gets back full-time? Because I understand your shortage, I do, because we have one employee that's not there full-time, and that's what we hired her for.
Right.
So, do you think that that's a possibility?
Well, if we take her temporarily and take the time and put her through the training, I think that would be the best for the office to utilize her in that role. We're going to be putting a lot of time and energy into teaching her and getting her familiar with the processes, and just giving her an opportunity to move forward with the township.
What's her pay as cleaning?
I
What is-
believe it's at $18 an hour, something close to that. But whatever she's currently receiving, it would be the same rate of pay.
And how many hours a week do you think that you would need her?
Probably 6 hours a day, 4 days a week. Basically to cover during lunch and some break times.
I have a question. So my concern is when or whenever the other person comes back, where does that leave us? Because then we'll have one full-time and two part-times. Number one, two full-times and one part-time. So number one, what does our budget look like? And, how is that going to work when you have two full-times and one part-time?
Right. So far with my budget, because I've only had one full-time cashier, there is money for that to be managed.
I understand there would be money as of right now, but my concern is moving forward, can we support two full-time and one part-time? And the part-time being at 24 hours. And then I guess the question comes, just how much longer are we going to be with a full-time and a part-time? Do you have any indication?
Cashiers, you won't need a part-time. There's the only time that they're super, super busy is when water bills are due
Tax season.
and taxes. The rest of the time, there isn't enough work to keep two full-time employees, let alone two full-time employees and a part-time. The part-time would be, my understanding, until the other cashier returned from sick leave, then at that point she'd be laid off because she would no longer be needed because I got a person just sitting there taking space and I don't have work for it.
So there wouldn't be the opportunity to go back to cleaning because that position is going to be covered?
That position would be filled because it would be a part-time position where it presently is, and I can't wait for her to stay there, whether it's a week or 6 months, and not have anybody clean the office.
I think my biggest concern is the fact that, number one, I wholeheartedly agree with people can be trained. I agree with that. But I'm just looking at the logistics of us having the 2 full-time and a part-time and not knowing. I do like the ideal of maybe doing like temporary, but I don't know if that will work because when the work is done, then she would be without a job. And that would be, you know, then she would have nothing to go back to. Because once, you know, we don't have a handle on the other person, and that we don't know when they're going to come back. We don't have a clue. I mean, do you have any information that would lead you to believe that it may be sometime soon, or have? I'm just trying to put put something in perspective.
As far as that employee, I've been given no information on that particular employee. Whenever she's been into the township offices, she's met with the clerk and the supervisor and had conversations with them, but I have not had any conversations with her about her plans to return to work. And like I said, she was on leave when, shortly after I got here, she went on leave, and then she was part-time for a couple months, 2 days a week. So the idea of the past 8 months, I've been working without
Right.
2 full-time cashiers. So I'm not counting on her presence at this point.
Would the supervisor or the clerk have any more information concerning this employee? As far as their return.
Returning in September.
She was supposed to be returning in July, and that didn't happen, and that's when
The
summer
doctor
taxes hit.
extended her sick leave, and that's his decision, not ours.
That's true.
So,
But yet I still have an office turn. So, you know, and there's situations when Jean's not well, if Ginger's not well, you know, the office has been closed, the assessing office has been closed on a regular basis for the past couple months. So, you know, if our regular operating hours, we have to close the office, I mean, that's something that you need to be aware of as well.
So the part-time employee that we already have, does she come in on regular days or times to work so that you can plan around that?
We don't have a part-time. We
She's
only
not-
have a,
She's not
Jean
coming
is
in at all?
full-time.
Yes, I know, but
no,
the
that
other one's not
we-
coming in.
we have
Do you mean Edwina?
2 full-time cashiers.
I understand.
One of them's on sick leave. We do not have a part-time.
And at one time,
cash-
she was coming in part-time.
Correct.
Okay.
For about
And now
2 months.
she's
The
not doing that.
full-time employee was restricted when she came back and she could only work 2 days a week. She was still a full-time employee.
I
Still
understand,
covered under workman's comp.
right?
But the aspect, she was still a full-time employee, even though she was restricted to only work.
And
20
now that
hours a week.
restriction is no work.
So theoretically, now she's on sick leave, she doesn't come in.
Okay.
But if you put a person in there under a part-time basis, and that person comes back at full-time, we don't have work for that individual in that department.
then again, we don't know if she's gonna come back at full-time. She may come back at part-time or restricted.
They come back as restricted, she's a full-time employee.
And that,
Would,
But
may
that
I,
doesn't
may I
cover
ask,
40 hours.
Supervisor, may I ask our attorney if with our contracts, if we, because of what we're dealing with right now, if we could go out and get a temporary agency to cover this on a part-time basis until we know what's gonna happen with this full-time employee?
The treasurer's position? You're saying the part-time cashier?
Cashier, the part-time cashier with the understanding of what we're dealing with. You know, we have a full-time employee that's not working right now. Do we really, you know, can we afford to hire another employee and then have the full-time come back? So, you know, if we were allowed to do a temp agency for this position, at least part-time,
I would want, the cashiers are GELC, yeah, so we
Yes.
would want to talk to them just because we want to avoid a grievance for any.
of course,
Ah.
of course.
The same thing when it comes to the wages as well. Making a part-time employee lateral in a union position raises concerns.
Yeah,
In the past, when the treasurer came to board, she asked consent from this board to use Sonia when needed.
Mhm.
She has not requested that this time.
Would that work for you until we can find out what's gonna happen in September with our full-time employee? Is Sonia, would Sonia have the time now?
Come over. I'm not sure. I know she's very busy with IT right now. We had the power outage on Thursday. She was in here on Friday for quite a few hours, taking care of issues with the computer system. So I don't know if she would have the capacity for that. I could talk to her about that.
Again, I don't have a problem with training anybody. I think that if she's willing to try to learn a job, that's fine. My concern is the fact that if we put her in there and then the other person comes back and they're full-time, which again, that's no guarantee because she has not been full-time since you've been on board. So to do that, I think it's unfair to her because then we'll have to say, we no longer need you now. Now she's without anything. I think until we can get our hands around what's going to happen in September, and we're already heading to August and by the end of this week, that's 4 more weeks, and we'll have an idea of what we're looking at, then we can do that. But I do think in the meantime and in between time, we do need to utilize Sonia if she's available because we have that help, and then we can know exactly what we're doing when September comes, and then we can move forward. Because one of the things we have to have some idea when a person is out, what's going on, especially the person who they work for. So, and if we can get our hands around that, then we can come back to the table in September and, you know, if it's still available and we don't have any help, then we can look at that at that time. That would be my feelings. I'm one vote. Let me make that clear before we go out here.
Oh, hold on 1 second. Let me make it also clear too. We need to untable this motion before we started talking. I'm just, everybody jumped into the water. Let me reel you back in a little bit.
You pushed us.
Okay, I'll make a motion that we untable this treasurer request to hire Edwina Daniel as part-time cashier for the city.
So moved.
There you go.
Thank you, Dwayne.
Probably just do a quick all in favor.
Yeah, we're going to do a roll call, maybe, just for record.
Roll call?
Myself, yes. Ms. Jonah?
Yes.
Ms. Dora?
Yes.
Ms. Loper?
Let me think about it.
Mr.
Yes.
Mr. Green?
Yes.
Okay. Continue. Vote unanimous. So the original motion back on to discuss it was by Ms. Jonah, and Ms. Dora is still on that.
So what my next question would be, would the supervisor and/or our attorneys have that conversation with the labor attorneys so that we know moving forward if that becomes an option for us to be able to go with a temp agency until the full-time employee comes back?
I can say off the cuff, most likely they would prefer we shifted her to the part-time cashier and use the temp agency on the maintenance person. I'm guessing that that's going to be their response, but
We don't know.
I could still talk
Would
to
you,
them. Yeah.
yeah, can we get a confirmation of that? So you're suggesting that they would, you know, tell her to go ahead and take this this position
Is the
part-time?
maintenance person GELC?
It's not maintenance, it's
It was under the
cleaning.
Excuse me, not maintenance, but
Under the GELC contract, we can't subcontract
That's correct.
to replace an employee.
is she currently a union employee?
No.
Okay, so yeah, I would guess that
No,
they
no,
would say they'd
the
rather.
person that you're talking about hiring a part-time person to fill is a union member.
That's correct. The one that's out on leave.
Right.
The one that's on leave is a union member.
Is
So the
union.
part-time cashier position would be a union position.
No, not
No.
part-time.
No, it's part-time.
Part-time isn't covered, but if you contract it out by bringing a temp in, that would be replacing or filling in a union position.
Right.
And I think that would be in violation of the union contract.
But won't they listen to the circumstances?
I think that would be in violation of the union
Ellen says no.
contract. So they could
Right.
file the grievance, and we would be definitely in violation of the contract.
Well, I'm in
So
favor of
by-
tabling this and researching with
I have
Dwayne
a
Smith.
tabling motion on the floor.
Support.
Roll call?
Ms. Jonah,
Yes.
Ms. Dora,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Yes. Vote unanimous.
Next item on the unfinished business, you have to untable is the deputy treasurer's contract verification.
So moved to untable.
Support.
Roll call?
Ms. Jonah,
Yes.
Ms. Dora,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
Myself, yes. Vote unanimous.
We received the contract from legal counsel. I have not had a chance to review some of those items with legal counsel because there was some language where it says must do, and I think that the language should say shall do instead of must. I'd like to review them with legal counsel prior to approving.
Do you want to table it?
Yes,
This, I guess I'm
I
confused.
have a motion to table.
Yeah, I guess we could keep it on the table, but I didn't put this on the agenda. And my deputy
was-
already has a legal contract.
I have a motion to table. Do I have support?
Yes. Support.
Roll call?
Ms. Dora,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
Ms. Tuck, yes. Ms. Jonah,
No.
vote 4-1.
Next item on the agenda, under the policy, I can spend up to $3,000, but it was a request from Yo and Yo for training from our finance director under OPEB liabilities in accordance to the GASB statements number 68 and 75. And I asked them what the charge would be, and they said they could do it anywhere from $1,000 to $3,000 max. And so I approved it for $3,000, which I can do under the contract, but it's an information to inform the board that this is what we're doing, and I would ask for your blessings.
So moved.
Support.
Loper.
Mm-hmm.
Any further discussion?
I just want to note that, first of all, I'm glad this is happening because this is something that the auditors normally do, and he does need that to be able to get that information so that it can be done right. So I'm glad it is happening and we're getting it done.
One of the issues is it's only done once a year, and
Mhm.
we deal with it a lot, and GASB's change periodically, and so it's just a clarification, and so,
And this will be a benefit to the township.
yes.
Okay. That was my understanding, so I just wanted to make it clear, because a lot of times when the audience hears we're adding to audits, they think that it's something wrong, but this is just a benefit for our township to have all the information so we can make sure things are done in decency and in order.
Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
Ms. Tuck, yes. Ms. Jonah,
Yes.
Ms. Dora,
Yes.
vote unanimous.
Next item on the agenda, we went through and looked at the police contract, the GELC contract, patrols contract. We renewed everybody's contract. The last time the fire department received a raise was pretty close to 4 years ago. So I'm requesting that the firefighters receive a dollar increase per position under the contract, which pays when they're on a scene over 2 hours.
Support.
Is that the motion,
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you made the motion, Supervisor.
or? in
So I support
regards
your-
to- It was a request.
I'll support it.
Then I would like to make the motion, that we provide the firefighters an hourly increase of $1 per position.
Support.
Yeah, I support.
Any further discussion?
I just want to know what that looks like. So you're saying after they've been on the scene over 2 hours?
Then the overtime kicks in, and as an example, the lowest paid person is like $15.56 an hour,
Mm-hmm.
so he would get $16.56 an hour.
Anything over 2 hours?
Anything over 2 hours, and every member of the fire department, including the firefighters, sergeants, lieutenants, captains, would also receive that extra dollar line.
Latrell's not here, so,
Reviewed it
Jonah?
with them, we
Okay.
didn't see an issue with it.
okay, very good, thank you.
Can our budget hold that?
Mhm.
I think they do an awesome job and they deserve to be paid, risking their lives. Absolutely. I just wanted to make sure that we knew what that looked like and budget-wise.
Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
myself, yes. Ms. Jonah, Ms. Dora, Ms. Loper,
Yes.
vote unanimous.
Next item on the agenda is Fire Department Station 1 requesting to hire Melissa McIntosh as a firefighter. Chief?
Thank you, board members, township residents. Melissa McIntosh made application to Station 1 to be a firefighter. She's also a certified state EMT. She understands that she's got to go through the program in the fall. We've already got her ready to go as soon as the board approves her. And she's been through all the background checks and drug screening.
What's your pleasure?
So
I'd like to
moved.
make the motion.
Oh, go ahead.
So sorry. Make the motion that the fire station one be allowed to hire Melissa McIntosh as one of our firefighters.
Support.
Any further discussion on the motion?
Is she going to continue to be EMT,
Mhm.
chief? Very
Yeah.
good.
Yep. She works out in Flushing also for their medic program or that they have out there.
Okay, perfect.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
myself, yes. Ms. Jonah, Ms. Dora,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
vote unanimous.
Next item on the agenda is from Station 2. The Station 2 chief isn't here because one of the firefighters' mother passed away this morning.
Mm.
And I want to send our regrets and wishes for the family. Fire Department Station 2 requesting to hire Christina Cooksey as a firefighter.
Correction, her first name's Michelle.
Michelle
Stand
Cooksey?
on the agenda, it doesn't say that. Consequently, I think her brother and dad are also, or two brothers are.
Her
on-
sons and her husband
Are on the department.
are on the department. They want to make a family tradition.
I like that. I like that a
What's your
lot.
pleasure?
So moved.
So, support.
Sorry, what is the name? Just for the record, what is the name of
Name is Michelle.
Michelle Christina Cooksey, Cooksey. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call.
Myself, yes. Ms. Jonah, Ms. Dora, Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
vote unanimous.
Thank you, board.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is request approval of the GLC contract. We are having a meeting Wednesday to review all the things with the board under a special meeting. I'm requesting this be tabled.
Support.
I don't think we had the table, it was informational.
Roll call.
It was a request to approve, so it makes sense to.
Motion again, who did the motion? I'm sorry.
Jonah made the motion, supported by Tina.
Mhm.
All right.
Roll call.
Ms. Jonah, Ms. Dora,
Yes.
Ms. Loper,
Yes.
Mr. Green,
Yes.
myself, yes, vote unanimous. Table.
Next item on the agenda is the finance director. He had some family issues, will not be here this evening, as you can see. Next item would be clerk's office.
I have none at this
report.
time.
Public comment. Anybody in the audience wishing to make public comments in regards to anything?
Hi, how you guys doing?
Good.
My name is Tamika Lewis. I stay in Kennedy's Estate, 5402 Sarah Rose Drive. I just have a question. Like, I know this year, the mosquitoes are really bad, and I was like, how do you go about starting, or how can we get our area, the Beecher community sprayed for mosquitoes?
You would have to hold a special assessment hearing in regards to that, and the cost would be put off for bids, and consequently, that would be divided amongst every resident in the Beecher community, and it would have to go through public hearings, and then there'd be a final vote, and.
Do you like put it on the ballot when it's time for election, or
Not on a
that's
ballot,
totally
everybody
different?
would be notified in the community. If you want just one subdivision, it's that subdivision. If you want the entire Beecher School community, then it's everybody that's in Beecher School District that's in Mount Morris Township would be notified of the public hearing. And there's 2 public hearings in regards to if the residents want it. And then we would get a cost factor of what it would cost and what each individual would be charged on an annual basis to provide that service.
Yeah, I don't know how
The one
everybody
that
else
does
is.
it is Saginaw County because of all the water they have up there.
Okay, I don't know how how it is everywhere else, but like over in Kennedy Estate, we're surrounded by that water with the woods, because that water, to my understanding, when I was younger, they said it was coming from Devil's Lake. So we got right there on that dead end. What my uncle he would do, but he's deceased now. He would take his bulldozer and he would push it back, and it would kind of block the water, so we wouldn't have that. So that water is coming through now. That's why in the wintertime it freezes right there, whether you have the debris cleaned off of the 2 drains with the house across the street. It still freezes, so that water is there. And then when you walk over in the woods, past the bars where it's a dead end, it's a pond back there. So it's a lot of water surrounding it, unless you done walked over and know, you wouldn't know. And then like over on Mendelberger, where my sister's house is, that whole street, you got the residents, their backyard is flooding. So you got water also there, so it's a mosquito problem there as well. So that's why I don't know what everybody else's situation is, but I know the situation in Kennedy Estate because I live there.
That would have to be a formal request, and that's the process to get that. And it probably wouldn't happen until next year or the following year.
As long as we get the ball rolling and it gets taken care of, because I know the mosquitoes are not gonna stop, so. Okay, I will do that. Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to address the board? Anyone else wishing to address the board?
I do want to address what Tamika had said. I do live in Kennedy Estate. Jolena Sims, 5432 Sierra Rose. I do live in Kennedy Estate, and I do know there are mosquitoes, but my yard, True Green Count, and they spray for the mosquitoes because they are bad. So, and I think some of my other neighbors as well, they spray their yards for the mosquitoes with True Green. And the only other thing I received a call, and I'm asking the board members that, I received a call that one of the board members do not live in the township anymore. I don't know. I don't care what the personal contacts is, because I do know if you do not live in the township, you cannot be on the board. So I'm not sure. You guys can look into it. I've gotten several calls, and I just need to know if the clerk still lives in Mount Morris Township.
I do.
And, okay.
You're welcome.
Okay, no, I'm not saying, okay, so you do, so you can prove that to the residents? Okay, I mean, I'm just asking. I just got a call, community is talking.
Hey,
So,
you're welcome.
okay.
Nice seeing you.
Anyone else wishing to address the board? Anyone else wishing to address the board? We'll close public comments. Attorney's report.
Yes, I sent out last evening a draft contract template that I was requested to form. I would have done it earlier, but I did take my children up to Wolverine for a week, and it was impossible to get any work done because there were 3 kids under 5. Other than that, I am working on the situation that Chief Wilson had asked me about with an apartment complex that was having frequent fire calls that were costing him quite a bit of money. I have sent a letter to the owner of that apartment building asking for reimbursement. And other than that, I am working on the health benefits resolution to try to figure out how this particular ordinance from, I believe, the 70s plays with the contracts that we currently have. Other than that, though, nothing else. Thanks.
And then, can I just, is that this template, I want to make sure that we understand the template is for, like
All contracted employees.
all contracted, but not the GELC.
Like the union contract.
That's why I'm just
These are
making sure that
contracted- the template
that-
would be contracted employees.
that our residents understand the difference, that there really is still
Yeah,
two
I believe
different
there
things going
were
on.
4 positions we talked about that are contracted.
Exactly.
The duties section I left blank just because there are different duties for each
Sure.
position. Anything else that I thought was standard language I left in, but if anything is like benefit multipliers or something like that, if that's different between positions, I can change that easily as they come up.
So now that we have this template, and we have these 4 employees all with different contracts, do we back up and,
No,
Gotta wait until-
no.
Not
They got to
unless
be
they-
grandfathered in.
and unless they're in agreeance of doing that? If they're not in agreeance, then we have to wait for even for their next contract, they would be grandfathered in then, am I
No,
correct?
they should be grandfathered in because they've already signed their contract.
Yeah, for
So-
this year.
Right. So
Okay.
when it comes time for the next one, then we'll have a true template that
I got you.
we can use, and everybody will sing the same
So this will be
song.
something that we should, one employee at a time, as their contract comes up, we'll be able to put it in with this.
And
Okay,
if
good.
it's a 3-year contract, or 2-year contract, or 4-year contract.
Right,
You gotta wait until the contract is over,
of course.
or until we leave.
But at least we'll have something standardized going
Exactly.
forward as new employees.
Exactly. I appreciate you working on that.
We've been needing for a long time.
Any additional thing, Chief?
Nope, that's all.
Next item on the agenda is Fire Chief's report, Station 1,
Nothing at this time.
Station 3.
All good, thank you.
Police Chief's report.
At this time.
Board comments. Mrs. Loper, we're gonna hold you first.
Okay. I'm gonna be good today.
You
I don't have it. Yes, I am. I want to thank everybody for coming out. I know it seems like we just keep putting everything on table and table. One of the things I said I was gonna be good, but I changed. One of the things we need to make sure is that we get this information so we can get some things settled and done. And I know many of you that are sitting out here are here for one specific reason. Trust and believe, as board members, we're trying to get this information too so that we can put some things to rest so that you know what's going on. And when it's messing with your livelihood, like your benefits, you need to know. So I'm just hoping that we can get this all taken care of, and a lot of these items that we have tabled and tabled and tabled and tabled, next month they'll be finished, and either way, however it goes, we'll have some resolution to that. So I just want to say thank you, everybody, for coming out. And Mr. Green, thank you for letting me go first for a change.
This is Keith.
Thank you. I just wanted to say thank you to Dr. Pepper and Brian, who arranged for us to have some beverages supporting one of the group activities that we did for families a couple weeks ago for the community. So I wanted to say thank you to that. I wanted to also, the Planning Commission asked us to ask this board if our attorney could write a letter to Roe to put fire under them, I guess, so that we can complete the audit and updating that we started well over a year ago, if not 2 years ago. It was, the ball was dropped, not by us, and we need to come to,
Talking about the revision of the master plan,
yeah,
not the
and,
audit.
no, the code and zoning. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about code and zoning, the
That would
planning.
be a part of the master plan. where they review the zoning ordinance.
Mr. Green, we started over 2 years ago with Rowe and they've been paid, and this is what I keep going back over, is they've already been paid to update this code, okay? We worked on it as a commission for months, having long meetings, 3 and 4 hour meetings, so that we could get it to where we are now. And I believe it is a better document already, but it's not finished. And we paid for it to be finished. And that's what I would like to see if we can get something moving on this, because it's been stalled for over a year.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with the details, but I'd be glad to sit down and write a letter explaining that this needs to move forward. Do we know, are they waiting for any information from us or anything like that? I don't want to.
My understanding what happens is the person that was in charge of the program passed away. The person they assigned to do that left the company, and they are trying to refill staff, and a letter might be helpful.
Okay.
Okay.
I will do that.
I appreciate that. There was also something else that we were working on. It was about the jobs.
So the money we spent to have jobs, we looked at and that never happened.
No, that's happening. They said
When
we
did
should
they
have something,
start?
we should have something back by September. That was what they stated that's still on.
Okay.
Just making sure that that's still on the table,
It's
so
still
we
on the
got
table.
things going.
So I appreciate that we're moving forward with the planning commission and be very excited about that. I want to send my condolences to the firefighter who lost his mother, and know that our prayers are with you. We do have a special meeting on Wednesday to help us get some of this stuff finished up so we can vote on it and get it untabled and taken care of. And our youth at the karate school are going to be having a car wash on August the 9th. We're asking you guys to come on out and support the kids. We're going to be traveling this fall for competitions, and this will help them with their uniforms. So we appreciate your support on August the 9th. Thank you. That's all I have, sir.
Thank you.
Just thank everybody for coming out. It's been a nice, fast meeting today. That's it.
Mr. Allen.
As well, I thank everybody for coming out, and everybody be safe out there. That's all I have.
If there's nothing else come before this board this evening, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
Support.
Ms. Jonah, Ms. Dora,
Yes.
Loper, Mr. Green. Vote unanimous.